Welcome back, Particle People! Today we're in Once Human once more discussing what we should be doing just before the brand new scenario drops. In case you weren't aware, Primeverse Clash is coming out very soon, and a lot of us are just biding our time till the brand new PvP scenario is available to us. There's a few people out there that didn't realize Primeverse Clash is a PvP scenario, so if you didn't know then, well now you know now. The PvE scenario comes out a little bit later, I believe that's sometime in October. If you're anything like me though, you're just trying to get ready for Primeverse Clash while continuing to have fun with the scenario that we currently have available. So, what should we be doing right now? Without further ado, here are my top 3 suggestions on how to continue having fun and remain semi-productive in Once Human while we wait for this brand new scenario. My first suggestion is to stock up on shinies. Shinies are so easy to get right now, or should I say these rare deviations are so easy to get, you should get as many as you can before we move to the next scenario. And now personally, I preferred it when shinies were rare as they meant more to me, but that doesn't mean that people still don't love these things. And plus, if you can find a lovely 5 version of a rare deviant, that's even better. That's just super effective on super effective. And hell, if you want to be as over the top as possible, you can do what I'm doing and get as many blue Digbies as you possibly can to become the evil mining version of Willy Wonka. I don't really think I'm ever gonna need this much metal, but what can I say? I'm a little bit of an ore whore. A lot of the times when you are looking for shinies in any game, it can get a little bit tedious, so you have to spice it up sometimes. I decided to spice it up with what I call the Flamin' Hot Car Challenge. Here's what you do. You go to this location on the map and you take out your car, then drive to where the butterfly spawns nearby. Here's the catch. Never get out of your car until you absolutely have to, meaning you drive it off the cliff every single time and find as many shiny butterflies as you can before it explodes. My record is 2 shiny butterflies before I blew up. I blew up real good. I was in the car. Also, Once Human, please never fix your wonky car physics. It's one of my favorite things about the game. Just watch my unicorn madness being unleashed upon the world. And you may be wondering why stock up on so many shinies. It's not like they're that important and you can't use that many at any given time, and you are right to an extent, but there's 2 things that we don't know. We're not aware if these same shinies are going to be available in the next scenario. As they are listed as a scenario feature, it seems likely to me that they're going to have an entirely different roster of what's shiny over there. Who knows? There might even be new deviants. And we also don't know how many people are planning on bringing these over or haven't been able to get them before the new scenario, so maybe you can turn out to be a baller by having some shinies to sell for millions of energy. Who knows? And stocking up on energy brings me conveniently into number 2, which is stock up. Get as many resources as you possibly can, the kinds that aren't going to expire moving to the next server. You're talking star crom to get better blueprints. We're talking furniture blueprints because you want to have a swaggin' base. Oh, I just said swag in the year 2024. Now everybody's gonna know I'm old as dirt. And while your server is still live, stock up on as much energy as you can, because even though it's not really worth too much, it will be at the end of the season when you can transmute it into some star crom. But looping back to those blueprints I had previously mentioned, a lot of people are looking for them in Blackfell. It's the most popular place to find blueprints because there are so many drops so close to each other. So let me show you really quickly what an average Blackfell loot drop run looks like. Now keep in mind, I'm going to avoid some chests here. I'm really just going to be aiming to hit the ones that are really densely packed together, as if I'm going to run these a whole bunch of times in a day, I don't want to try to get every single one. If you've got as much patience as a Tibetan monk, you're more than welcome to clear out the entire city every single time, but I just don't have time for that. And I understand the irony because I got my first shiny when it was on hard odds by killing the first boss over 400 times. I get it, I understand it's silly. Anyway, teleport to Blackfell and go immediately over to this little motel. Both the first and second floor are filled to the brim with loot. Then we're gonna go ahead and move over to a little office building that is almost as densely packed as this one is, so we can try to get more blueprints. I decided to make it slightly more interesting by cutting out all the frames in between my dash. Now it kind of looks like one of those TikTok dance jump videos. You know, the ones where the guys cut out the frames in between so they look like they're dancing in midair? Okay, but real talk here for a second. The first 2 times I tried to record this, I either had an issue with the recording or something happened that killed me. This took a while. You should subscribe because of all the effort I put into this. When we do get over to the office building, keep in mind the chest at the very top of the stairs is bait. That is a mimic. There is no loot for you there. Everything else in the building is fair game though, including a weapon chest, which sometimes has some good mods. If you are playing on a hard mode server, just keep in mind there's going to be an elite mob over here every now and then, and that's definitely not what I died to several times. When you finish the office building, just head out the front door and head towards the house that's over on your right. That one is also filled to the brim with loot, and I found a lot of blueprints in there. However, I'm guessing that's anecdotal just because all the chests probably have the same or similar odds. That brings us to my final suggestion of what to do if you've done just about everything. You don't want to get more star crom, nor do you want to get furniture. What do we do in Once Human if you're bored but don't want to stop playing? Well, personally, I'd suggest make an alt. There's a lot of people in the community who are adamantly against making alts for a bunch of reasons that are super non-issues, especially because they haven't even considered how fun it is to have an alt. A few of you that have watched the channel for a while noticed that I was using a shotgun even though I do not have the proper stuff to make a proper shotgun build. And that's because this is one of my alts, so there's absolutely no problem having an alt in this game. No matter what anybody tells you, there's just too many combinations for them to be all unlocked in your main character anytime soon. If you watched my previous video talking about how to make a perfect build for any weapon, you would know that it takes tons and tons of star crom to get an even mildly effective build. So I would encourage you, if you already have a main build on your main character, why not just make an alternate and experiment with something new? I found out that I like using the lightning build because it's, well, really stupid and not nearly as effective, but it's a lot of fun to go around tasing people. And if you're one of those people saying that the game is just far too easy, well, have you considered doing it with a much less effective build? Perhaps you've already used a stupid build, but you could make an even dumber one. I believe in you. Maybe get really spicy and try a PvP server or a PvE server if you haven't tried either of those yet. If I do PvP, I usually just get wrecked by people who are younger with faster reflexes because I'm an old man. I kid you not, a lot of the footage that was used in this video is just me screwing around in my alt because I'm having fun in the game again. Especially because my main character I built so well and accidentally made what's probably a meta build, so everything feels really easy on him. Unlike with my lightning cannon, which sucks so goddamn bad, that bosses that I have no issues with even on the hard mode server on my main character are struggling on the hard mode server for my alternate character. Especially if you're anything like me and you have a ridiculous amount of hours on this game, it's bound to get stale after a while, and it is imperative that we try our best to refresh it. I will admit in a previous video I was kind of upset because some of the rarity was taken away from the shinies. However, I needed to suck it up and find a different way to play a game I love. It's not all about me. And that's one of the beautiful things about Once Human that makes it such a great game. Even when you can't play exactly the way you want to, there's just a plethora of fun things to do, whether that be driving off of a cliff, experiencing the new hard mode world events, or perhaps even being a little bit saucy and making your brand new waifu character that you didn't create purely just to make a better thumbnail that you thought would increase the results in the search, but it turns out it didn't help at all. In fact, it may have done worse than your regular videos. Okay, I'm very clearly projecting, but I really do think making an alternate character is the ultimate suggestion for people trying to have fun with Once Human, but they're a little bit burnt out on their main character. And even if you don't like any of the suggestions I laid out today, just keep in mind we're not very far from the new scenario and we'll have brand new content here soon. And as soon as I have footage of that new content, I'll make sure to upload it right here, same time, same place. Probably not at the same time. But what did you think of the video? Have you tried any of these suggestions, and have you been stocking up on all of your blueprints to go to the next scenario? And also, how many alt characters do you have? I'm currently sitting at 5 characters total. Anyway, this has been Sanford Days. I'm Course and I get everywhere. Bye bye now.